Daylight is still several hours away at the remote village of Aguas in northeastern Honduras. But for Roy and Sue Haglund, the Mission Aviation Fellowship couple living there, their day has already begun. For outside in the darkness before dawn, the people of Honduras are crying out in need. From almost a dozen different places spread over 4,000 square miles, the Mosquito people are calling. For many, it has been an all-night vigil. For others, their task began days before as they carried their sick and injured through swamp and jungle, drawn like a magnet to their only source of communication with the outside world, the local village radio. And now the damp morning mist is filled with pleas for help. A man with snakebite in Nocotales, a little girl with malaria in Cocobilla, an old woman with tuberculosis in Puerto Lempira. Can the plane bring medicine to Palacio? A doctor to Wampasirpi? The faceless sound of voices heard against a background of static is a poor reflection of the pain and suffering that lies on the other end. But pain and suffering are not new to Roy and Sue Haglund or to the other inhabitants of Aguas. For almost 50 years now, local Christians and their American brothers have labored together for the gospel in this region. For most of these years, missionaries have operated a medical clinic here to help meet the physical needs of the people. And based near the clinic, a local church has been established to help with their spiritual needs as well. Then in 1968, Mission Aviation Fellowship responded to the request for a plane and a pilot to help serve the people of the area. Today, this tradition of serving is being carried on by Roy and Sue as they work hand in hand with missionaries such as Lorenz and Nora Adam. The MAF pilot, in so many ways, is like the doctors he serves. His ministry is that of touching. His skill is one of tough, demanding precision. And every moment of every day, the lives of others rest in his hands. It is an awesome responsibility. Here, suffering is much more than just a word. To many of these people, it is an everyday reality.
When we came in 1962, life was rather different from what it is now because we did not have the MAF based here. We were completely dependent on the boat service that went up and down the coast from La Ceiba, and frequently those boats would meet with problems along the way. One year we lost 16 boats. The various little boat captains lost what was their lifeline, really, and our lifeline. We were dependent on them for food supplies, for our mail service, and we were also dependent on them for the medicines that we had for the medical work here. The patients would be brought up the river from Bruce Laguna or up the Patuca River, and from the Caratasca. They would bring them as far as they could and then carry the patient in to the clinic. And that made a very long trip for some of those people who were so very sick. But MAF came here in 1968. Since then, life has been quite different. People know that they can get help in a hurry when they need it.
Speed becomes very important when it is your child you're carrying in your arms. Imagine for a moment living in a place where 1/2 of the land's surface is covered by rivers and swamps. There are no roads. A trip to the one doctor in the only clinic available can take days of hard travel over rivers and lagoons, across flat marshy swamps full of black flies, mosquitoes, snakes, and tarantulas.
Yes, the mother is complaining that this baby had a swollen face and belly for about 2 weeks. Now, this child is 3 years old, weighs 25 pounds, which really isn't enough. You get this sort of a chubby appearance to the face, and actually the baby's malnourished. At least that's what I suspect, so we'll just examine him.
Hello. Raksa. Apa aku?
A child in pain is one of the saddest things in the world, for he neither knows nor understands why he hurts, or that someone truly cares.
Can you hold him for me, please? Just his mouth. Okay.
Each day in the life of an MAF pilot is made up of so many little things that enable him to carry on his work. Out here, there are no auto mechanics, no electricians, no plumbers. The MAF pilot must be all of these things and more. The MAF pilot also serves as his own chief mechanic. Constant inspection of the aircraft must be carried out if it's to be kept in perfect flying condition. For Roy Haglund knows that if his aircraft should falter, not only might his own life be in danger, but also the lives of his passengers. In an area where there are no control towers, no radio navigation stations, a failure in the air is very dangerous. A plane going down in these dense jungles would be swallowed without a trace. And all this responsibility rests on the shoulders of one man, Roy Haglund.
The present pilot is kept very, very busy. Frequently, he can't handle all the flights that are required. People call in from all over the department, which includes some 25,000 people in many villages along the rivers and lagoons. The pilot has to, on occasion, take the airplane in for the 100-hour checkup or for servicing, and he's not able to make emergency flights as he would like to. It's very frustrating for the pilot. Just recently, we had the case of a mother who gave birth to twins. She bled very badly, but there was no plane here because the MAF plane was away. And so the mother couldn't get help, and she died, leaving two twins, two babies behind. Fortunately, this doesn't happen too often, but it does on occasion.
Emergencies are a way of life to the Miskito people. And here, where there is a total lack of even basic medical knowledge, and where there is little, if any, ground transportation, emergencies happen quite often.
From the MAF pilot's wife, Sue Haglund, I learned that a patient would be brought in from Warunta. When we have an emergency case like this and the patient is not able to walk, the plane brings the patient up close to the clinic, and we meet the plane with the stretcher. And within just a minute or so, we were able to put her into the operating room. The doctor and nurses were, of course, ready, and we began examining her and giving her medication. It became obvious that she had had a stillborn child delivered the evening before in the village and was not able to deliver the placenta. The first things that we did was to have prayer with her. Being Miskito, we prayed in Miskito. We asked for the Lord's guidance and help in the procedures that we were going to perform, and also committed her life into God's care. And prayer and the Lord's help, we were able to deliver the placenta, and the patient is doing well today and will be able to go home perhaps in 3 days from now.
It is 6 p.m. here in the little community of Awas in northeastern Honduras, and Roy Haglund is coming home. 3,000 miles away in his own country, a 16-month-old baby boy tries to swallow something he has found on the floor. By the time his mother hears him choking, he's already begun to turn blue from lack of oxygen. In panic, she races him in her car to the local hospital, where a team of doctors immediately go to work to dislodge the object. 2 hours later, a very tired, weak little boy is returned to a grateful mother. The doctor tells us she is very fortunate. She is. For if she lived 3,000 miles away in the swamps of Honduras, her child would be dead. But it is evening now, and Roy Haglund is coming home. You will find this same scene being repeated all over the world. In South America, in Africa, in Asia. MAF pilots are coming home to their families. It has been a long day, but the night will pass quickly, and the sun's return will find the radios of Jakarta and Kinshasa and Ahuas once again crackling to life. The poor and the suffering and the injured will be calling. A little boy with meningitis, a malnourished baby, a mother with birth complications. They are calling for help. They are calling for you.